we recently got to see Dragon Quest VII.
It's a good time to be a Dragon Quest fan.
Reimagined at Square Enix's office. Yeah, it's an interesting thing that they were talking about, right? Like, stuff that I didn't even realize, like, #1 game on the PlayStation in Japan.
Oh yeah, this like Dragon Quest has. We all know its legacy in Japan about people taking off work, taking off school, what have you. 7, I feel like, is one of the big. Like, obviously it's the 7th one, but it's like that's so foundational for like what would become that legacy in Japan.
Right.
Like, yeah, crazy. I feel like 7 to them is like 8 to America.
Sure.
Just in how important of a game it is. Like when we talk about Dragon Quest over here, chances are it's 8. And then like they were saying, 7 is their favorite game. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I did too, because I didn't have that perspective. And like, and for me, it's like 1 and 4 and a lot of those others I would have, thought of first.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got to spend about 45 minutes to an hour with it. So got to play it on PS5s.
Yep.
You played through both demos?
Yep.
Wild. But I was messing around with a lot of stuff too. But yeah. So we got to check it out. We got to try the battle system, do a couple of quests, fight some bosses, mess around with our party, mess around with the new moonlighting option.
Yeah, brand new.
So you can have 2 jobs.
They're doing everything they can to streamline and trim this game down. That's the main thing for the reimagining.
Yeah.
If you're a die-hard DQ7 fan, you might have some pause there. You might be like, ooh, you might start getting a little Resident Evil 3 remake hot flashes here, cut content. But everyone knows that game is 120 hours. There is bloat in that game, whether you accept that or not. And the things they cut, they said, are the least important stories. They cut like 3 basically short stories because this game is kind of chopped up into like these big arcs. They cut 3 of those, but they added stories as well. They've added character stories. Yeah. So in a way, we're probably getting even more content than the original. It's just streamlined in a way. Yeah.
They said that the ones that they cut, the mini stories that they cut, felt like padding.
Yeah.
And that they were going for better pacing. Yeah. Just overall.
It makes sense to me, at least. I know it's a touchy subject for sure, especially if you're a fan of this beloved game. But.
And it sounds like, in some way, like they took some of that stuff that might have been required before and made it optional, because they're saying like now you can get through the main game in 50 to 60 hours. You can still put 120 hours in if you want, but you don't have to put it in to finish. So
it's that's so smart. And like you said, the Moonlighter thing, you can have 2 jobs now at once to combine powers, basically. Not like you can use more stuff, but that means they just levels up twice as fast because you have 2 at a time. So that's huge.
Yeah, so you have your overall experience level, and then each one of these classes, these vocations that you have, has a level as well that's represented by stars. And once you have a level that's filled all the way out, then the stars go all the way across. And I think some of those skills can be used with other jobs.
Some synergies.
But I'm not sure about that 100%. So I think some of the skills will carry over, like once you've like maxed out a job level, to like whatever you put on, you could get to keep those. But there are others, because I went back.
You have to have it equipped.
Yeah, because I went back to Ruff, the guy on the wolf, and he's got like they've each got like their own like essentially like canon class. Yeah. Right, and he was. I didn't write down what it was actually called, I don't think. But anyway, but he had a class with like a bunch of wolf summons and stuff.
So rad.
And those skills were not available to me until I had switched those vocations, and I saw, I was like, oh, he can do that. But there were a couple of them that I did have before then. So it was interesting to see, like, there's some little mixing and matching going on there. There's also an interesting mechanic in there called getting worked up. Yeah. And I, as far as I can tell, there's not like an overt meter or anything like that. But just at a certain point in the battle, based on the pressure and stuff, a character will get worked up.
Yeah.
And
taking
then,
damage, things are going down. They're like, yo, getting worked up here.
Yeah, a new thing comes up on the menu that says, let loose.
Yeah.
And then you get 2 options, and those options are based on those vocations. So with Ruff, with that vocation, his base vocation, he could do like 2 attacks, but then he might take a nap.
That's so funny.
Afterwards.
So funny.
Like
That Dragon Quest humor is the best.
Yeah. But yeah, some of the things that were in there is like Dancer that was like very focused on like buffs and healing and stuff. There's the Mage, which has a lot of like sizzles and crackles and those spells. There's the Jester in there.
Hell yeah, Dragon Quest 11, whatever.
And one of the let loose things with the Dancer is she made it so that like everyone could cast their spells with 0 MP.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's a really nice little buff.
Yeah.
So they vary quite
really
a bit. They're not just like, oh, here's just your all-out attack. It's like, no, these are strategically quite different.
Yeah. Knowing when
options.
to use it.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say I am very disappointed with them cutting the casino.
Oh, right.
I truly like Square Enix is
not a thing we talked about there, but
it's actually unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable. Like, please, I understand that the whole like gambling regions, whatever, but like we're not using real money. It is a video game. It is a staple of this franchise, which was seen as recently as 11.
Right.
There's a casino in there, and it gives us a lot of joy. This casino in Dragon Quest. So please rethink this. Maybe get a DLC pack, because then you could separate the game and a DLC. You could bring the DLC into different regions.
I don't know if that works with the ratings, but yeah.
Please, it hurts me. It pains me physically. I am actually hurt.
The story for the first demo that they had us do, which was actually later in the game, is about there is like this minstrel in a town. This guy's great. Old Man Riffer.
Old Man Riffer. Just riffing out there.
He's just riffing out in the town square. You hear some if you talk to townspeople and stuff, you hear some rumors like the nearby towns where like everybody like disappeared and just became ghost towns and you don't know what's happening. But then people are so impressed with Old Man Riffer's song, they're like, the innkeeper is like, I'm giving everyone free stays tonight. And you get there and it's like, how about half price?
Yeah.
And then you wake up in the middle of the night and you hear Old Man Riffer.
Old Man Riffer,
in the middle of the night. And you go out there and people are disappearing into this portal.
Yes.
And you follow along and you find out that like they're all in this tower full of monsters and stuff like that. One thing leads to another.
Full on dungeon. And
then this flood comes.
Yeah. This game is very apocalyptic.
All those towns are now underwater.
Yeah.
And
very
so
apocalyptic.
The people in this tower were actually safe.
Yeah.
From that. And now they recruit you to go fight this like ocean
fish monster.
god,
fish
monster guy. Yeah. What thing's a nice approach, because we were just talking about Pokemon not having voice acting, right? And this has a nice balance where like when there's a cutscene, there's voice acting, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then when you're just talking to people in town, you'll just get like that kind of thing. So
yeah. Also, after playing Dragon Quest 3 and previewing 1 and 2 or whatever, it's nice to see the character's attack animation again. Because in those old ones, it's just first person, like.
Yeah.
Now you see the character run up, like I did Helm Splitter. You do like the full on flip with the axe.
Right.
So.
I'm curious what you think overall on the visuals, because they did show they showed the dolls.
I know.
I saw them in person at TGS.
I know. I'm so torn. Part of me just thinks the game looks cheap and like doesn't have the like heart and soul that I'm used to seeing. Like there's just something off about the visuals, and I cannot put my finger on it, Blood, because I think Dragon Quest HD 2Ds are beyond gorgeous. And then, of course, like the original Dragon Quests are all beautiful. Especially, I love the cell shading of 8. Yeah. 11 looks...
8 and 11 are both really great, yeah.
So beautiful. And this one just looks like dull and flat is the vibe I get. And I'm trying really hard to just kind of like open up to it. I feel like after playing for a while, it'll settle in. I did on one hand, the silver lining is during the cutscenes and stuff, when it gets really close up to characters.
Yeah.
That's when it looks great. Big characters, close up, everything looks awesome. But like when you're just in the world map running around, something about it.
I do like the way the characters look. I do like the way the monsters look.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not so much a fan of like how the town looks, and like there's also this one point because they still have like a kind of like focal tilt shift kind of thing in the distance. And there's this one point when like I got on like the watchtower in the town and I looked out and it was just blur. Like I couldn't actually see the hills in the distance because it just blurred out essentially.
Yeah.
And you sort of in some ways understand that because it's like, okay, you're in the town, but then but you're giving me an opportunity to see in the distance, so I should see in the distance. It's a little strange.
I also wish so much, I say this all the time, I really wish if you're a company out there remaking a beloved game, or any game for that matter, please give us access to the original also.
Yeah.
And I can understand if there's some kind of like sales discrepancy there or whatever it may be. I know we've talked about it at length. Matt Piscatella weighed in, I remember that from a while ago, about why companies do or do not do that.
Yeah.
I think just like giving it as a purchase bonus, like buy the game and you get the old one or something. Because then, Blood, if I have access to that version, then as a consumer, I'm even more open and receptive to all these changes they're making.
Yeah.
Because if I just have clearly the old original version that's there, and then it's like, okay, the new one, like what are we... Oh, okay, I don't really like that. I don't like this, so I like that. And it's like, at least I have the comfort of the original. So I've had this big thought, Blood, because I know they're leading up to Dragon Quest VIII in some capacity.
Right.
1 billion% doing something with that game. It's been gone for too long and it is too beloved to sit still. And they've now remade 1, 2, 3, 7.
Yeah.
So I honestly am like, if they do what they're doing with 7 to 8, I will be like bummed. I'll be like, please, no. Like, I don't want it to look like that. Obviously, the camera is way different. It's not the like tilted.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting to me is that like, I can actually control the camera. Right?
Yeah,
like,
that was nice too.
Yeah, like you can't do the up or down too much, but like rotating it. Yeah.
It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I will say, even though like I'm not I'm kind of split on this specific art style. Mm-hmm. What I am very pleased with though is that it does have a different art style, and it clearly has taken a lot of work to like make that happen.
It's such a nice partner to the HD ones that we've been getting.
But it's not like,
nice.
this works, we're just going to copy paste this over and over again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's really great. And
for
like
sure.
Something that I would like to see that, would be kind of similar to what we got in 11 and 8, but something that's more like closer to an illustrative kind of a style, closer to like a watercolor aesthetic,
something,
or like somewhere between like Okami and Azura's Wrath, like somewhere in there for a Dragon Quest game could be really cool.
Blood, it's because I'm getting this like budget vibe of like I Am Setsuna or something, like those old digital only.
Right.
Indie RPG games during like the PS3, PS4 era, where it's just like, it just looks.
Yeah. Tokyo RPG Factory was the name of that company.
Yes, it's giving me heavy Tokyo RPG Factory vibes, where it like looks fine. It doesn't look bad by any means. Mm-hmm. Just emotionally, I'm not connecting with it.
The other two things I wanted to point out with the battle system, A, is that they've done a lot of work to make things like very clear. Maybe I don't know if maybe even too much, where it's like if you mouse over like an attack and that's not going to be effective against the enemy. It'll just tell you.
Yeah.
No, don't
That's
do
great.
that.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of stuff like that
Thumb
in
up,
there.
thumbs down. And
Yeah.
X is like it's going to have no impact.
Yeah, I think it'll be completely ineffective. There's like one or two things in there where like there's like a different kind of X, and I was like, what does that mean? Like, I don't understand. And then another like interesting little tweak is that the rather than the enemy themselves changing color, their name will progressively get redder.
Yeah.
As they get lower health.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was just that like that fish boss guy, that guy was pretty tough.
Oh yeah. You
like,
gotta have
I had
your
guys going down.
You gotta have your Dragon
multiple
Quest
times.
stats or your Dragon Quest. You gotta have your
I was
stats ready and
being-
your
I was
strats.
being carried because old man Riffer shows
Is
up.
there, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was being carried by that
Yeah.
dude.
You gotta-
It was like, oh man.
I know. Dragon Quest is a game of keeping everybody topped off.
Right.
Especially with those boss fights, because you know they're gonna freaking AoE down everyone. So then I was using the warrior lady. She has like a strum thing too, where she could like dance and heal everyone.
She had the dancer stuff.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah, because
critical.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that Ruff, like on the default save, I think like he had like warrior and martial artist. And then I think that Aris, he had sailor and thief
Sailor
as his
hype.
defaults.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, if you're familiar with Dragon Quest at all, it's Dragon Quest, and that's what we love about it, is that they do not rock the boat too dramatically with their format. You know, you're gonna get a dramatic tale with many moments of levity and humor. You're gonna have towns and dungeons and a party, unless Dragon Warrior 1, of course. And yeah, I think making little tweaks to the battle system is also a lot of the fun in Dragon Quest. Like, I'm a sucker for the psych up mechanics in 8.
Right.
You know, that's one of my all-time favorites. So yeah, I think the Moonlighter stuff and the what is it, like, let's go.
Oh,
Yeah, the all out.
Let Loose.
Let loose. Yeah, let loose. Like, yeah. So I think that's really, really fun for sure. And then of course there's battle speeds. So all the things they can do to just streamline and speed this thing up. And Dragon Quest VII is a hard game to track down. Also, that's like you need like a physical copy of that game. You know, if you want to play it legitimately.
Yeah.
So really cool to bring this to audiences, because this is one of the most important franchises in video games for sure. And access to it has been hard. That's why these last few years have been so great with, you know, Dragon Quest XI, obviously mainstream game, but then 1, 2, 3 HD,
then 1 and 2, and then this,
and now
like
this.
all so quickly back to back.
Exactly.
'Cause this one's coming February 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So I feel like they're going the way of Yakuza, where it's just like, hey, get all these games out there one way or the other. We can hope for, you know, the original versions somewhere along the line, but I know Square Enix can be pretty weird sometimes with things like that. So at least we're getting these versions at all.
Yep.
So
Cool.
yeah.
So I hope you like that. If you have any questions, let us know. I don't know if we can answer them, but feel free to drop a comment in there.
No doubt.
And we're Easy Allies. We cover games all the time. We've got a podcast every week where we're talking about stuff that we've been playing. And we are supported by people just like you. So go to patreon.com/easyallies. Drop in $5 a month to keep this going. And we will see you soon.